What's up, guys? Welcome to an episode of Calcio Basta with Dan, Gianni, myself, Luca. Uh, Manchester City knocking out Sporting today in the Champions League, but obviously the big game of the day. PSG knocked out by Real Madrid 3-2 on aggregate. Guys, give me something.
I only saw the first half. However, I did want to say something about Mbappe's goal.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous, but not only ridiculous because of the goal in itself, just the lead up to it. Like Mbappe, what he did with his hips, making it look like he was going to go far post, even though literally Alaba was right in front, like he couldn't possibly go far post.
It was really good for him, but I think Courtois, a guy like Courtois has to do better though. You have to know that your second post is covered.
I understand like Courtois should do better. I get it, but as a goalie, when you're that close, I think it's the more the blame goes on to Alaba for that, because Alaba is just backing up. Like how much more are you going to back up?
That's the thing, because in the build-up of the goal, like right after the goal, the commentators were saying blistering pace Mbappe. Alaba caught him. He literally got
it. He caught him. He caught up to him, and then he just kept backing up.
I'm saying that you're right. So like the goal didn't happen because of Mbappe's blistering pace. He got there. He did enough to get there. So finish it. Don't back off. It's not like he beat him for pace and he had the shot. Alaba recovered, got there, and still gave him the opportunity to shoot. When if he just closed him down a little more, maybe it's not as easy of a finish.
To me, there were two horrible defensive mistakes on Real Madrid's part. One, Alaba literally just backing off. I don't know. He looked like he was going to back off. Like Mbappe could have kept dribbling it and probably dribbled into the goal the way that Alaba was backing off.
Yeah.
And then, but at the same time, Alaba cut off that whole angle. So that was good on his part.
Yeah.
Second, Courtois' positioning. When you have Alaba already cutting off that angle, you get closer to the near post. He was way too far away from the near post. Regardless, it was an insane technical display. Mbappe. Not just the way he shot it, because the shot was incredible, but because it was so powerful and from so close, it's so hard to keep out as a goalie. If
that's
you don't
the
have
thing.
Your body
like we could be here.
Like if you if you don't have your body behind it, like if Courtois was closer to the post, he would have had his body behind it and he would have saved it.
Yeah.
But the fact that he didn't have his body behind it, it's impossible.
Yeah, that's the thing, because like we could talk so much how Alaba did well to recover, should have closed down the space a bit better. Courtois should have recognized the first post, but at the end of the day, look, what Mbappe did was just great. I feel like the more we talk about it, the more we take credit away from what he did.
Exactly. At the same time,
it could have been stopped, but we can't take away credit from what he did.
Yes, you're right. Because at the same time, this is all happening in a split second because Mbappe is so fast. Like the way they counter Neymar's ball. First of all, Neymar's ball was impeccable. The way the ball swerved on the ground in stride was literally flawless. And then Mbappe taking it and within a second, it's already a goal. Like. So we could say all we want, but that's like almost impossible to defend.
Yeah. Were you able to catch the game, John?
Yeah, I think I was just gonna say for Mbappe, like I think he proved, even though he probably won't be there much longer, that like this is really his team. Like it doesn't matter that Messi's there, it doesn't matter that Neymar's there, especially because Neymar has been hurt. And I'm not a Neymar hater. Like I know a lot of people just don't like the guy, and that's why they don't want to see PSG do anything. It's just purely because Neymar's on that team. But Mbappe over these last at least 1.5 legs, because then in the second half they just turned off after they gave up that goal. Mbappe proved that like he's the guy. It's his team, and he probably was auditioning for Real Madrid. Not that he needed one because they're going to sign him regardless. But he really just like I had a lot of fun. We've watched a bunch of Mbappe over the last few years. As he's grown up and gone to the Champions League, but he's proven like he's taken extra steps. We've seen in the past that his shots would try to be like perfect top upper 90 shots. Now he knows where he needs to be more efficient and where he's going to take his angles. And I had a lot of fun watching him the first leg, the whole game. He was impeccable in Paris. And then for this first half here, he had multiple looks on goal, could have scored more than one tonight. The offside goal was ridiculous. He just sat down. He just sat down Courtois like a little child. like just
It was
ridiculous.
like Ronaldo phenomenon.
Yeah,
like
and
Brazilian Ronaldo.
Henri was talking about that. So
no, he is. Yo, but look, I don't know if you guys remember, but I used to say in the past, this guy's the closest thing you're gonna get to R9. I don't know if you guys agree with me in the past, but I mean, I've had this conversation with a bunch of people.
I mean,
a lot of people say, I mean, look, it's very hard shoes to fill. I'm not saying that he's gonna be the next R9, or I think he's gonna be
closest.
Yes, I think he's gonna be his own player at the end of the day, because at the end of the day, you don't want to be compared to someone else. You don't want to be oh, this is the new R9. You want to be Mbappe. You want to be who you are. But he's the closest thing, because if you just see the way he comes at you with such speed. Most players will touch the ball around some guy. They'll look to dribble around. Like fantastic players, but he just takes you on. He challenges you, and you can tell that he enjoys that. He just enjoys taking the player on, and I don't know, the best way to say it is like disfida, like 1v1. He challenges you.
Yeah, and Henri was saying on the show. Henri was saying on the show, and he's like, he's one of my favorite players to watch. And when you have Henri, who he played on the wing, he's French. He's one of the all-time greats for that country, or in football in general. Yeah. And when you have him raving about you, then you know that you're good. And we've been talking lately, like, Mbappe started young, he's a phenomenon, but he's not at that level. Some other players might be better than him. Like, obviously these up and coming players, like I'm talking Alan Vlahovic, but
of course,
but he's just ridiculous. Like, he's over this past few Champions League games just reminded you, like, what are you guys talking about? I might be the best young footballer in the world.
He's
just there is no comparison.
No, there's none.
There is no comparison. Like, I love Haaland, don't get me wrong, but like people try to put the comparison, like them two together, and who knows? Maybe one day Haaland will get to that level of Mbappe, even though I think they're the same age, are they? Or maybe Haaland's a little younger. I know
Mbappe is 98. Mbappe is 98.
I know that Mbappe is 98, but regardless, as of now,
2000 Haaland.
It's like it's not close. Like,
look, to be honest, in this moment, Mbappe is the greatest young talent in the world.
He's the best player in the world right now.
The greatest.
He's the best player in the world.
The greatest. I think that Haaland will, in the future, Haaland maxing out his potential, I think will offer you more in terms of different styles, production, different ways that you can use him and he can play. But in this moment, Mbappe is the greatest. There's no comparison.
It's not a comparison.
And you guys remember the transfer window last summer, the whole saga. Does Mbappe stay? There was like maybe 4 different revised offers. There was a 200 million euro offer for euro or dollar. I don't know what it was for Mbappe. And obviously PSG rejected it. They want to keep him at all costs in their project. A few days ago, leading up to this second leg, he was offered a new improved 2-year deal, not like a big 3-4 year deal, just 2-year deal to stay at PSG. You think he takes it?
It's not I tell you exactly what that is. That's just to not lose him for free, because that's literally insane. Losing a guy like Mbappe for free.
If you are Mbappe, do you get out of Paris now, or do you
absolutely
do you go to Real?
Look at what happened.
I would dip.
Yeah,
I'd dip immediately.
Can you imagine Mbappe on that Real team? And Real, like, if you look at them on paper, like PSG has the players to go up with Real Madrid. Like, they're not that far behind.
There's no balance though.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
That team was made a cazzo di cane. That's what that team was made like.
There's no balance.
No, like on paper, they have the talent, but they don't have the cohesive. Like, they're not.
It's interesting. It's interesting though. It's interesting because obviously there's a bunch of things that we're gonna get to. Like, obviously Donnarumma and Magnan. We obviously know Milan Twitter blew up today with Donnarumma's mistake. Marquinhos,
which was a foul, by the way.
Yeah, it was a foul. Then going forward though, honestly, Pochettino, he really blew it today. He really blew it.
Dude, because look, it's the funniest thing how that team is assembled and Danilo's on the field.
Yeah, look. Minute 61, Benzema scores, okay? You're up 1-0. Yes. He waits. You're still leading 2-1 on aggregate. The guy waits 10 minutes, 71st minute, brings on Gay for Paredes. So you could say it's a like-for-like change, all right? Then immediately 76th minute 2-2, 78th minute the 2-2 on aggregate, 78th minute, 3-2. What does he do? Then, obviously, he's chasing the game. He's forced to bring Di Maria on for Pereira. What balance is there? I get it. The last 10 minutes, you have to throw the kitchen sink. Now you were leading the tie 2-0. You go down. You have 4 midfielders on the field. At some point, he had Messi, Neymar, Mbappe, Di Maria all on the field at the same time. But when you went down 1-0, you still have a lead to protect. Why do you keep those 3 on the field? Make a different change. Leave, fine. Mbappe is having one of the games of his life. Leave Mbappe on. Maybe leave Messi on.
I see had a decent game. Take Neymar off.
You have to pull Neymar off. One of Neymar or Messi is coming off. I'm sorry. You have to pull them off.
Well, they talked about it
earlier. Why are you still going with those guys?
In the pregame too. They talked about in the pregame. Why does them all 3 together never really work? And it's all the balance thing. And they were actually, I think it was Henry who was even saying, and I agreed with it, like just talking about the balance. Yeah. Like if you have a player like Di Maria from the start, then, or even whatever in that scenario, when you're up 2-0, then you take him off.
Yeah.
Because Di Maria will track back. And he's right. Like it's almost like I remember not to make that comparison, but like Callejon for Napoli. Why was he so key and so balanced? Because he would always come back. And then Insigne and whoever was up front can stay up front.
In their nature. It's in their nature to do that. You're not going to get that. You're not going to get that from Neymar. You're not going to get that from Messi. You're not going to get that. Fine. You leave Mbappe on because he's the biggest threat. Anytime Real Madrid will push people forward, there was always that consequence that if you play the ball in behind, it was something for them to think about. It reminds me of when Bayern knocked out Juve in the Champions League. That we were winning 2-0. Allegri, one of the dumbest changes he could have made, brings Morata off, brings Mandzukic on. What do? You're just inviting more players forward. They get their fullbacks higher. That's something. It's just basic things. But to be still up 2-1, to still be up 2-1 on aggregate with 20 minutes left in the game, 30 minutes left in the game, and to leave those 3 on, it doesn't make sense.
Look,
you have the tie settled.
None of the strikers, none of the forwards, and when I say forwards, obviously I mean like Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe. None of them are wingers, and none of them are strikers. They're all 3 of those players are guys that you just put on the field and tell them to play. Because if you give them a role, that it's like doing disservice to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't give those guys a role. Like Messi does not have a role. Messi is Messi. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. But you as a coach,
you have 3 guys like that. It's a recipe for disaster.
But that's the thing. That's why you as a coach need to find the balance. And look, we're in the era that players are bigger than clubs, if they're not equal to the clubs, some of them are bigger than clubs. So you have guys like Neymar, Mbappe, Messi that they should be playing 90 minutes each game. But there's a time and a place for that. It's up to the coach. It was up for Pochettino today to have some balls and say, no, one of these guys has to come off. I need to find balance because it's not about making those 3 happy. At the end of the day, you have to get your team through to the quarterfinal. And he failed.
I would take off Messi all the time. Man, that dude, listen, he might have had a decent game today. I mean, I didn't see the second half. I just saw the first half. He was kind of a mess. But
no, in the first half he was a mess. But at the end of the day, win the freaking tie.
But Messi is clearly not there to win trophies. He's not. He's there because he's making more money before he needs to retire. Like, let's be honest with each other. He's not playing the way he's supposed to play. You know? And I know people will try to make that. I know people will try to make this whole like comparison. Oh, but look at Ronaldo, what he's doing now. You know what I mean? Like,
that's a different situation. Though. That was the Ronaldo situation is completely. That's something that came last minute. PSG was completely planned. Ronaldo to Man U came at the last minute. There was the interest from City. I mean, we know what happened. They're 2 different things at the end of the day. You can clearly tell that one is more motivated than the other.
That's what I'm trying. That's what I'm getting at. Like, one is still trying to win games, even though he's playing badly. He's still trying. You could clearly see that he's trying.
Yeah.
The other one is literally just passeggia per il campo. Like that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
Like he's not.
But no, I think at the end of the day, if you are Pochettino, you show some balls, you bring one of those 3 off between Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe, you settle the tie, and that's it. Because no player is bigger than a club. Today, honestly, Pochettino literally show that those three have so much power at that club. Because if he had a bit of balls, he would have taken one of them off.
Yeah, it's not like you can't even make the argument that like when Real Madrid, when Ronaldo was at Real Madrid or Messi was at Barcelona, like they were Ronaldo was Real Madrid.
Yeah.
And Messi was Barcelona. You can't even make that argument like, oh, I take him off, like then we lose our identity.
Yeah.
Like that's not even it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because none of these players have an identity with the club. Because that club is not built. There is no identity at that.
What
club.
Identity is there? The identity
there
of
is
club,
no identity.
The identity was there before they started bringing all these guys in.
Who? Key.
Before you start bringing in all the superstars.
They never had an identity. That club has never had an identity.
That's what I'm saying. They had more of it. I don't know what it was, but I guarantee they had more of an identity then than now.
Maybe.
And I mean, look, obviously, like, you know, Milan Twitter today, you knew it was going to happen with Donnarumma exiting.
I don't even want to get into that.
I feel like we have to touch it though.
No, like, yes, that I don't mean literally.
Yeah.
It's so stupid. Like, listen, to me, I overrate him. Yes, I love Donnarumma. Is he the best goalie in the world right now? Maybe not. I don't know. But to me, he's so good. Like he's a generational talent. There is no comparison from him and Mike Maignan. Like, I'm sorry. Like, Mike Maignan is a great goalie. Don't get me wrong. But the Milanisti are just so, like, warped.
Oh, they're so butthurt. I guarantee
they're very
that
warped.
When it comes to that,
I love Milan. Yeah. I love Milanisti. I have so many friends. Don't get me wrong. Like, if you're watching this, like, shout out to Martino, shout out to a few other people. You know what I mean? But, like, when you guys, you it's obsession. It's obsession.
Yeah.
Now, you know?
No, it totally is. Look, I guarantee you, if Donnarumma left in good terms, I mean, he didn't turn his back on the club, and he wasn't shady with Mino Raiola. If Donnarumma left on good terms and wasn't a snake and did it behind their back, I guarantee you we wouldn't be hearing this whole Mike Maignan is better than Donnarumma chat, because it's just something to make them feel better. If
there
Donnarumma
is no leaving on good terms.
There
is no leaving on good terms.
There's a difference. When you're offered,
not like that.
When you're offered, you can still leave on good terms. You express to the club, I want to leave. When you
he did. That's my point. He did.
I get that. You express to the club that you want to leave, but when they send you contract offers, contract renewals, and you don't even listen to them, you just ignore. Look, you can literally receive
that's
them.
A rejection in and of itself.
But you can
that's a rejection.
But there's a way to go about it. They can offer you contract after contract. You've already we don't know what goes on in the club. We don't hear the conversations.
Yeah, exactly. But so we don't even know if he didn't listen. You don't even know if he didn't listen. We're not there.
Exactly.
That's my point.
It's not surprising.
That's a rejection.
Sure.
Not even like
us
but
not
at the
knowing
end of the
that.
Day, like, what is he supposed to do? Go online and say I rejected this offer?
Yeah.
Look, I agree with you. But when you know how rumors spread. When things like this happen, a journalist can say one rumor and it spreads like wildfire. So the story of the day is that Donnarumma was given several times to re-extend. He didn't even answer the phone. Basically, they ignored them. This is the story that we got.
Yeah, probably after the 10th time that he said no.
He ignored them.
He's gonna stop.
Exactly. So now, if you're Donnarumma, if you come out and you maybe say to the public, or you say a message, I don't want to extend, thank you all the time at Milan, whatever. I'm guessing this is what Milan fans wanted to happen.
But didn't he say thank you so much and everything? Didn't he say that? I remember him saying something.
I'm telling you, this is the issue. The version that the world and the version that Milan fans were given was that any offer he was given, he basically said, F off, I'm not even going to listen to your offer. I don't need you guys. And I guarantee you, Milan fans took that as a disrespect and said, look, you know, you were 16 years old. We gave you all the fiducia in the world to be the first team keeper. We gave you the opportunity to become who you are. Now you're going to leave us in the dust like this. Do I understand why Milan fans would maybe think that way? A little bit, yeah. Does it justify them saying that Mike Maignan is better than Donnarumma to feel better about it? No.
But listen, that's modern soccer. That's modern culture. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't. There is no loyalty.
Dan said it. You don't have an amicable split up anymore. It's just that's it. When they leave, you're hurt now. It's not like
yeah.
Most of the time, you're not going to get a fairy tale send off. It's not the way it is.
Look, when Paul Pogba left Juve, right? Juve gave him the opportunity. Manchester United, he was rejected by Ferguson. Comes to Juve, becomes a world star, gets his move back to his boyhood club, United, right? When Pogba did that, I didn't blame the guy. I didn't blame him. But now Pogba leaves. Does that mean that I'm going to say the replacement for him is all better than Pogba? If he genuinely is, fine, but I'm not going to do it based off of because the freaking guy left.
Yeah,
like
each person.
There are clubs bigger than Milan. They need to realize that there are clubs bigger. Historically, Milan is a big club. Yeah, historically, but we can't live in the past.
That's the point.
We can't live in the past.
Yeah, we cannot. Each person's different. You're able to move on. Some people aren't. You leave it up to the person, like whether they're just delusional or not. That's up to them, not you.
It's like this. Milan made how many points in the group stage? 4, 1. I don't remember. Did they win a game?
They got the win against Atletico at the end, right?
Probably. I don't remember.
I don't know.
I think they did. They won a game. They did 4 points.
Yeah.
PSG, for as little that I thought that they were not gonna go far. Like I never thought they were gonna go far, but they're PSG at the end of the day.
Yeah.
They're built from playing these types of games like today. You think Donnarumma was gonna play this game at the round of 16 of the Champions League at the Bernabeu with Milan? No. Right? At the end of the day, that's what it is. That's what it comes down to. It's like, for me, it's like, players that leave Napoli now. Like after Higuain left, I don't care anymore. I don't care.
There's no loyalty.
Because you could tell, there's no more loyalty in this game. There is none.
The only people that you expect loyalty from are guys that literally grew up in the club. They're from the city. They grew up there. Those are the guys you expect loyalty from.
Even then,
a guy that I expect loyalty from is Marchisio from Juve. Grew up in Juve, played for the club. Fine. Ended up going.
That
to
was
Zenit
a later generation.
Exactly. The Tottis,
there's no more Totti. There's no more Del Piero.
Yeah. They don't exist.
No.
There's no more Totti. There's no more guys like that. Maldini.
And look, at the end of the day, speaking about loyalties, fine. People would say, oh, if you're Insigne and you really are figlio di Napoli and you don't care about the money, no matter what money you're given, you don't leave to go to Canada to go make a paycheck. But at the end of the day, people need to realize this is a job. It's a job. It's business. You have to put food on the table. This move to Canada makes sense for him. He did his best. He did what he could for Napoli. If ADL doesn't want to give him the money or match whatever contract another player is on, that's not his problem.
Look,
fai la valigia e parti, basta, boom.
Yeah, to me, Insigne won the Euro, and he said, "Listen, I won what I got to win in my career. Like I've won something big, and that's it." Because like he's tried how many times with Napoli now to win the Scudetto? Like 3-4 times he came close. It never happened.
Yeah,
he's 30. He's clearly dwindling physically. He can't.
Yeah, that's
non regge più. Non regge.
Yeah.
He can't even do 60 good minutes. He does a half, maybe.
I know.
So at first I was very bitter, when I saw the news, like, oh, he's gonna go to Toronto. Like, what the hell is he gonna do there? But at the same time, like, he's gonna go to Toronto and probably he's probably not gonna do anything. I wouldn't expect much from the Toronto fans, to be honest. Yeah. But he's gonna make money to feed his whole family for like generation after generation.
That's what people don't understand. Look, at the end of the day, yeah, you put yourself at this position in the club. You are a servant of the club. But at the end of the day, nobody does nothing for free. Nobody does. Does he make decent money playing for Napoli now? Yeah, sure. But think about the money that he can make. Think about the money that he can make.
$3.5 million is not the same as 12 million a year.
It's not the same. And added on to that, he wasn't. It's not like he was going to ADL and he was saying, I want to make what Cooley makes. I want to be the top paid person in the club. All he did was ask you, honor the contract I'm still on. Honor that. He didn't get that. He wasn't he wasn't asking for rainbows in the sky and God to just come down. He was made this very simple request.
You're right.
And if you were to go and you were to extend Mertens on that, who's another guy that is also deteriorating.
He's gonna go too.
He's gonna go. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Wow.
Yeah. He doesn't
I know. Well, we'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that for now. This was a good conversation about, the game from today, Real Madrid PSG. Guys, thanks for being with us today on Calcio Basta. See you next time.
Follow us on all our socials like usual, guys. Calcio Basta TM on TikTok and Twitter, and Calcio Basta on YouTube as well. Appreciate it.
Ciao, you.
Ciao.